convo. Right where it was.
Oh, really? No, because I'm like showing off or something. Fuck you, dude.
No, not even like that. We were just talking, dude.
Yeah, we
No,
were just talking.
we can talk about it. We can talk about it after. Go ahead, man. Run. Look up to the ceiling the whole time you play this. Turn the keyboard up.
And I ran. That's kind of high. I ran
Higher.
so far.
Keyboard up. Keyboard up.
Does it need to be louder? You can't hear it? Let me back this up.
A little bit more. Yeah.
How's that?
A little better. Yeah.
I just ran. There we go. And I ran so far away. I ran all night and day. I couldn't get away. It's Dead World, episode 9, the Iran episode, guys. We're not doing geopolitics on the show today. Well, maybe at the end. I'm Alvaro. I'm joined by my co-host, Jonah. How you doing?
You know, Alvaro, I'm doing okay. No geopolitics.
No geopolitics today.
However, I live near
Mm-hmm.
some of the more important nuclear sites
That's
in
right.
America.
That's right.
So tensions are high, but so am I, baby. What's up, Dead World? Let's go.
For our listeners who are listening, Jonah lives in a silo in rural Kentucky, and he lives at the top of the silo. That's why he says he's high. I don't think he can give too much more about his location, for national security purposes. But yeah, so he lives right on top of a bunch of rockets. And if we go to war, guys, like, he's fucked. All right, because they're just shooting right through his house. But I think he did put the TV den outside of the path. So if anything, the rockets will go in a circle up the silo, and it'll cut a perfect like cookie of the TV den, and that'll just fall to the bottom. And I do think they have some hay there. I think the government made a couple precautions just in case.
Yeah, that's just a little look into my cartoony bullshit life.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we don't like to talk about, we don't like to talk about private stuff, our private lives and like where we live and that kind of thing. But I do think, you have like a special living situation, and I do think that merits attention from people generally, especially in our audience, Dead World. The guys that are here, man. Yo, episode 8, dude, we just hit 32 views pretty quick. You know what I mean? Thank you guys. And keep doing that. Keep watching them. Show your friends. Go to patreon.com/deadworldpod. There's 2 bonus episodes right now. If we can get... Guys, if we can get to 5 Patreon subscribers, I'm talking $7.50 a month. It's $1.50, okay? You'll set it and forget it. You won't even realize that it's there. But if we can get to $7.50 a month, guys, we are going to put at least 1 more bonus episode up there. And then maybe we even start doing it regularly. But right now, just head on over.
Hey, it's a free show, baby. We're just here to hang out,
That's right. Radio Free Dead World. So what's going on with you, Jonah? You really don't want to talk about geopolitics, or do you want to talk about geopolitics? Because I don't know.
It's just like I don't know enough to actually contribute anything to anybody. You know what I mean? We all have the info. None of it makes sense. You know what I mean? Am I going to connect the dots? No. Who is really, right?
The dot connectors message us so we can have you on the show and we can connect dots.
Yeah. If you got an interesting theory about what the hell is going on in the world,
if you're well researched,
how afraid I should properly be,
that's right,
of dying a horrible, undignified death. Let's talk.
Let's come on the show.
Let's talk about it.
Talk about it. We really want to hear from you guys. We're good interviewers. I don't know if you guys saw the Rock Hard episode, but we grilled Rock Hard about his morals and stuff and why he's doing what he's doing. And now. I don't know if you guys are keeping up. Rock Hard did a face reveal. He's like a handsome Latino man. Oh, we got shots. We got shots from Jonah. He winced at the handsome. Tell us, bro. Rock Hard's ugly, bro.
I don't like the face reveal,
it does kind of ruin.
Not only is he jeopardizing
the mystique,
his allies, his family, I'm not sure what his romantic status is, but if he's got like some kind of Mary Jane figure, not good for her.
That would be interesting. So that would be interesting.
That's
a post.
It eventually, in different like universes at different times. A story has been told where everybody finds out that Batman is Bruce Wayne.
Right. It's not good.
You know, but it's not good, and
Not
it's never
fan of it.
permanent because, well, I don't know, man. You know, it's like, you know, some people have a problem with Christian Bale's Batman.
Yeah.
But
Is it
one
the
of the
voice?
things was, no, it's not even that. It's how, like, he kind of abandoned maybe some of the more like theatrical elements of Batman. Made him too grounded, maybe.
Right. What about Christian Bale, and he's like a farmer? He's like, we just got some fresh hay over from Oklahoma, you know? And he's like, I got 1,600 bales over there ready to go if you need them. I don't have the trucks. You got to bring your own trucks, right?
Christian Bale is a cool name for like a hardworking farmer guy out in Oklahoma.
Right, yeah, it's like John Plants, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? How's it going, everybody? I'm John Plants. I farm lavender, and I farm acacias and azaleas. I just like flowers. I make no money from my farming operations. I just do it for the squirrels, right? Deadwood.
Listen.
No, that's right.
You're very committed to characters right now. You have
the character
glasses
episode,
on.
Dude. The 9 lives.
Like
it's my 9 lives, dude. I'm a cat. No, I'm character cat.
You're hiding behind them, trying to become somebody else.
I'm fucking.
Be yourself, Alpharo.
No, man.
It's episode 9, dude.
It's episode 9, bro.
Dude.
Episode 9, the 9 lives of Dead World, right? And I'm character cat. So I'm gonna try and do 9 characters on this episode, and we'll see. So far, we've got Christian Bale. Christian Bale is
a funny, farmer. The farmer.
John Plant's out. We can't have 2 farmers on the roster. But Christian Bale's good, you know. Yeah, I've been having some trouble. There hadn't been much rain in Oklahoma these past couple years, but
can we bring something back from the last episode? This was the title I wanted. I forgot about it.
Okay, what was it?
Bayou Buddha.
Bayou Buddha's good. I say, my Bayou is just me being like, oh, I say.
That's all right, dude. You'll figure it out.
I don't found enlightenment. There we go. I found enlightenment under the tree. I can't, but it's like it switches. It's bad. I have to find the consistent accents, right? Like I've got this character. He's Nigel. He's a mastering engineer. He's a recording engineer, and he's always talking about I'll make recordings, mate. Yes, that record. Mixing that record. I needed to find the right room, the right bass tones, right? But I don't really have it much more past that. You know what I mean? It's just talking like a British guy about audio engineering, you know what I mean?
You know what? How about? But he can't find the bathroom.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yes.
And he's like a little bit.
He's like shy. Is he shy?
Shy about asking about where it is.
He's like, hey mate, it's a really nice studio. I love the technology, mate. It's thousands and thousands of pounds in here, mate. It's fanatical, man. It's maniacal. It's mad, man. Listen, man. You got where's the nearest mirror? You know, you got a mirror I could look at. Preferably with some water running near it, mate. You know, he's like sussing out. But then he's like, but the guy's like,
the layout of the place.
The guy's like, really, oh yeah, dude, there's a mirror right by the front door, man. You could just go, you could go look there. It's like, oh no, man. I know about that mirror. It's I'm looking for more like a, you know, with the water, mate. You know, like I like to drink water in front of the mirror. He's like, oh, I think there's a water fountain right next to the mirror by the door. I think you know, it's like a guy. They're both confused, right?
You know what? We're gonna put a pin in it.
That's 2.
That's
2. That's 2.
I think Bayou Buddha and
well, I say I done started meditating. I can't.
Christian Bale are all right, dude.
Christian Bale's all right. Bayou Buddha is on notice. We'll put him on the shelf for a second. Maybe come back, take a look, see. Well, because we were right before the podcast, guys. Jonah and I always have a conversation, and we're always afraid that we blow our load because the conversations before the podcast are honestly way better, guys. So maybe we'll figure out a way. Well, maybe we'll figure that out, but or maybe not, and maybe you just have to sit with the mystery. But we were talking about animism, right? We were talking about energy and emotions and feelings, and like kind of from what we were talking about last episode, where I was talking about memories and how like really the thing that's most memorable is a feeling. I was making not an argument, but I was just saying to Jonah that I think or believe that kind of everything is a result of feeling, and I believe that the universe itself feels things. You know what I mean? How about like how about he's like a Mexican guy, he's like a day laborer, but he's really about like, I mean, I just think the universe is like a singular entity, bro, and like, you know what I mean? Something like that. Cosmic, like
Cosmic day labor.
Cosmic Vato, bro. Cosmic Vato. How about that? Okay, no, yeah. So he's like he's like a LA fool, like a East LA fool. Like he's got the hydraulics and shit, but he's like, yeah, bro. I just think like there's energy in everything, bro. Like you could look at the stars and then you could look at that tree, man. It's the same thing, bro. Right? That guy exists for sure. That's not a character. That's just a person in East LA right now, probably, honestly.
You know, dude, I love it, man. You know,
It's great.
We're very, I'm gonna say, we're a very character driven society. Like we don't
Western,
really
yeah.
care about,
I
you
feel like
know,
America, I would go so far to
like
say is that,
greatness, but we like an interesting story, man. You know, we
yeah,
like a Hawktua girl.
we love a
You
hot
know,
tour girl,
we
dude.
like
Spit on that thing.
what's the guy, the quarterback from A&M, dude? You know what I mean? He had
Ben
a
Roethlisberger?
Johnny Manziel or whatever. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay.
What's the fucking? I mean, even Tom Brady.
Right, we love a character,
You know,
bro.
we
People
we
love a
like somebody who
zany.
has like a story and some weird bullshit going on with them. You
There's a
know,
you need
what you
some
do doesn't
zane.
matter.
No, honestly, no, dude.
But
That's the fun part. I almost feel like, I mean, me pursuing like whatever creative path or whatever, like it's so much less interesting than like the true eccentrics that like I've met in my life. But it's like I don't even know how to like describe these people. You're kind of one of those. You're kind of a true eccentric, Jonah. You've been
oh
like
man,
you're like
I feel
you've
like
done
I'm so
quests,
trapped by
man.
conform. Yeah, maybe.
You've done quests, dude. Like you've done stuff that people don't really do. You know what I mean? It's not that no one's ever done it. Obviously people do it, but like you worked in Yellowstone, you worked in Alaska, like you've van lifed, like you really did some shit, man. Like that's why this is part of why I like you, man. It's not your like morals or, you know, the time I enjoy spending with you or like any it's because you're like a cartoon character and it's kind of fun to observe it.
You know, we all do reckless, crazy things in our early 20s, and I hate to say that now.
You said
Being,
you think that was reckless?
you know, dude, it's just like shit's hard, man. You know, the
It
reason
was
why
a
you don't
choice.
see a bunch of people being like crazy and eccentric and like themselves to the fullest extent is because, like, bro, you are going against the fucking grain. You
Mhm.
know, there isn't a community, a city, a place, a group of people, even another person that's really going to understand what the fuck you're all about.
Yeah.
If you're going to like dare to really just like put it all out there, put it all out on the line,
Yeah. I mean, I
do what
saw
everyone else is not doing. You know,
right.
it's not it's
Two
not that people aren't
roads.
doing it. It's the fact that like you're not going to be understood by anybody. And that's why, you know, being
What
eccentric
is
is
it?
impossible, you know.
And
Not
what it
impossible, but it's like eventually you just need somebody to like say, "Oh, I get you," and then
yeah.
actually feel like that means something. I don't know.
He's like, yeah, man, I feel like I really understand you, bro, because like according to the eightfold path, man, like you're doing right ways, right
Listen, man, I'm a
morals, man.
Sagittarius, bro.
Yeah.
I understand.
Astrology Vato. There it is, bro. Cosmic Vato.
Astrology Vato,
Yeah.
dude.
Hey, yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
Gemini rising, man. Like that's my face that I show the world, man. Yeah, that's good.
Damn, bro.
All right.
You know, I think everybody, like, to an extent, can't help being like blind about, you know, some of like maybe the like pitfalls
Mm-hmm.
of whatever the way of thinking is, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
so like it'll come across as like eccentric in certain situations and contexts. But
Yeah.
if it's like, if you're really like, you know what, man, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna be me, do me, live me, you
Yeah.
know, like it's all an uphill thing, man, you know, and it doesn't stop. Like,
I wonder, I guess I have two questions. I have three questions for you, and I feel like they need to get answered in a sequential order.
okay.
But my first question would be, what does it mean to understand someone, either yourself or someone else? And then the second question is, do you think it's possible to understand yourself? And then the third question is, do you think it's possible to understand others? And understand having the definition that we establish on the first question. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, bro, I don't mean to like be all, you know, philosophy dork again, but
Mm-hmm.
like I
We'll do it in a Bayou accent. How about that? Understanding oneself. I can't.
Understanding oneself
Yeah, right.
is as much of a mystery as an encounter with the other.
Yeah.
The absolute alterity that has been highlighted by philosophers such as
Yeah.
Levinas and Derrida
Yeah, dude.
has made the concept
Yes.
of selfhood
Right.
and the basis for communication
Yeah.
something layered on shaky ground.
Right.
I can't keep on going.
Honestly,
The
dude,
Bayou thing confuses. I want to say
it's
something, but it's
hard.
hard
It's
to.
not
I'm
easy.
not. If I was a
You gotta
Bayou guy,
pretend. You
I
gotta
could do Theo
pretend.
Vaughn. I went to high school with
Right.
Jack Derrida. He told me about the other, and we took DMT.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
I.
perfect, dude. Yeah, and honestly, I was focused so hard on hearing your accent that I didn't like catch a single
Yeah.
word you said. Yeah, but
Um.
so
No, bro, you
understanding.
can't. You can't look. This is like the miracle of communicating with one another.
Yeah, dead world.
Is I don't perfectly understand myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't. And life is like this like journey of like self discovery, and you do that through like
Yeah.
words and processes and actions, and
Right.
like moments where you're like showed a different angle of yourself because you're somewhere
Yeah.
you never thought you'd be. And so that's like a perpetual mystery, but it's like,
Yeah.
there's also like a bridge you don't cross when you're trying to communicate with another being, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And it's not something that is like unique to human experience,
Yeah.
but you come across, like objects in your life, you come across events in your life,
Yep.
and to have a clear understanding of like what they are, what it is, what it means, how to see it, how to orient yourself towards it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mystery. But specifically when we're talking about like one person just trying to communicate to another what they
Mm-hmm.
mean, foundationally it's all built on this like trust, which is
Right.
kind of like a leap of faith, that
Yeah.
it's like I understand that what we're trying to do together
Yeah.
is like reconcile the differences in our understanding. But
Right.
sometimes and a lot of times
Well,
people are just like trying to
existing
do a power
together.
thing, I think.
Yeah. I think existing together with someone like in a space in time by itself is already like a level of understanding, if that makes sense. Like, like meeting someone, it's not
Mhm.
meeting them and then knowing them in person. Like maybe you meet someone online and you follow each other for a while and you never meet in person. And then one time you meet in person and you're like, oh, now this person that I've been talking to online in the context of real life is now like a person here.
Mhm.
And like, and I think, I don't know, I've had so many moments where I'm like, man, I wish I could like put you in my head for a little bit or put me in your head for a little bit
Mhm.
just to like see, just to see, because like I feel like if everyone was able to do that with each other, it would be like an easier world. But at the same time, maybe not, because like it's not all sunshine and roses in your own mind, right? At the same
Mhm.
time, like you have your negative thoughts, you have your intrusive thoughts, like maybe negative things about other people that you don't really believe, but it goes through your head, and like, and then it's
Mhm.
like, what do you believe about yourself? And it kind of feeds back into the Buddhism thing, to me at least. Well, just not Buddhism specifically, like per se, but like the concept of impermanence, right? Because like you can believe that you understand yourself, but you're changing constantly. So like the version of yourself that you might understand or think you understand is already changed. It's already changing, right? And it's like, because
Mhm.
now that if you believe you understand yourself, maybe you stop. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
people who inherently think they're a good person,
Mhm.
like it's almost their actions kind of become secondary to what makes that, like they justify their own actions by being like from deficient, like from a priori or whatever, like
Mhm.
definitionally a good person. So like what they do is right
Right,
or
right.
whatever. And it's like a level of self-righteousness that never gets maybe expressed out loud, but it's like it leads to certain behavior that ends up hurting other people because maybe they didn't really understand themselves that well, or they
Mhm.
think, like, people like to impose their understanding of the world on it and on others and expect and whether or not they think they do, there's like an expectation of how things should go, like normally or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like I go to the store,
Mhm.
I go to Starbucks, what's going to happen is I'm going to go in line, I'm going to order my drink, I'm going to wait for my drink, I'm going to get my drink, I'm going to go. Like that kind of predictability is
Mm-hmm.
really something that humans, I think, pursue constantly, right? Like that's what we want in stability and stuff. It's like being able to know that like I'm sleeping here tonight and like
Mm-hmm.
I'm waking up tomorrow and then I'm doing this and then like having that predict so much of the modern world is based on predictability, right? Like the whole financial system is a system to be like, okay, well, this is going to happen in the next 3 months. Like they price that in to oil or whatever. Like they use all the projections they can to try to forward look because what people can't stand is not knowing the future, right? And not only that, and having to think about the past. And so when
Mm-hmm.
you understand yourself or others, like even when you're understanding yourself, you're only understanding yourself at that moment in time where you feel like you do. And then if you think you understand someone else, you're really only understanding them for the moment in time that you exist with them in. Like you can't really assume you understand them anymore, especially if you haven't talked in like years. You know what I mean?
Dude, I guess that's all to say if you're like, I guess the basis of what you're saying is that you believe that there is self-understanding, but it's like flawed.
It's more
Because
of a,
my understanding is that it's like it's not like flawed.
it's just
It's
mutable.
like impossible.
Well, right. It's impossible
Actually,
to have, I mean, it's
you
impossible
know
to
what I
the
mean?
same, it's impossible as the same level of like, it's impossible to have permanent happiness. It's impossible to the extent that it's impossible to have permanent anything. You can't have like a permanent self-understanding. It's more of like you understand yourself and then like some stuff happens in your life or something happens that like makes you question stuff and then you're like, "Do I understand myself?" and you just keep doing that. So you might get like glimpses over time and maybe like some of the more awakened people or something out in the world have like a more constant like understanding, but more than anything it's just like saying that it's like it's more of a moment in time than anything else. Like how you said we exist in the now that always exists, right?
Mhm.
Like there is the now, there is the frame of the now where it was right now that I understood myself. But it's already gone, right? It's already happened. It's already happened. And like the slightest little things can like make you change your understanding of yourself. Like it could be like the smallest little, you know what I mean? It could be
Right,
like
right.
the way you talk to someone. It could be like a decision you make on the fly, like just different things. Cause right, I mean, I don't know, cause there's like the subconscious and the conscious, right? And it's like how much of what you're doing is being guided by like a part of yourself that you don't know at all. Like it's just kind of under the surface, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's why. I mean, maybe it's like a cop out answer to be like it's like impossible because I guess there's like you know there's like self awareness in certain aspects
Mm-hmm.
is possible, right? You can understand like the impression you're making on other people to a degree. You
Yeah.
can understand where you are, who you're with, why you're there to a degree, you
Right.
know. And so maybe but it's more like
I
I don't
think this
know.
is why, I think this is
It's like
why,
this like vaguer thing, right? It's like this
yeah.
like deeper thing that I guess that
Is it like epistemic?
I'm
Am I
trying to
just kind of
understand.
like, am I just, it almost feels like I could
Ah,
just be
man.
saying words for words,
It,
you know what I mean?
yeah, it's like
Semantic or
what's
whatever.
what's at the heart of like the desire that drives you to do and be whatever you are in the moment you find yourself in. Like why should you focus on this instead of that,
Well, that's why I
It's
feel
like that's a thing that I feel like is
intention.
confusing, right?
Hmm.
And that's like, how do you communicate whatever that is? If that's like your selfhood, which is like these moments of like directed focus alongside these like very like physical processes, it's like, how do you communicate that to another human being? And so, it's not to say that like we, I guess, don't have some sort of like practical, useful, social, political, historical,
Hmm.
actionable understanding of ourselves, but it's like something like deep that makes you feel like you're like truly sharing a moment
Yeah.
with another person.
Would you say that,
It's not something that's built on anything other than like this like weird trust
yeah,
that almost like should be impossible because like given the chaotic process of
yeah,
like being a person and thinking and feeling and whatever,
yeah.
like how is there any room to embrace, a whole other storm of that
Hmm.
in the face of another person, It's crazy.
I think, wait, hold on. We might have to cut these like 5 seconds out because I forgot. I spaced on what I was
Blah,
going to
blah,
say.
blah, 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 blah. Just listen, baby. Let me
But
take your mind on a ride.
it's like you think about everybody values intention, right? Really highly. Like it's the one precursor. Intention's like a precursor to action, which of course is like the most visible expression of anybody's internal world, right? Is what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Whether and it's like, do you think that there's a performative aspect to understanding? And I don't know if that makes any sense. And this might really be just semantics, like words that I'm saying that kind of are meaningless. But like, because we're always talking about right, and right now
You
in
know,
like,
bro, we can make it meaningful, man. That's what's kind
well,
of cool
there
about
you
just
go,
like,
exactly.
having this dialogue, the
So
moment,
here's kind of where my head's at right now. I'm
All
thinking
right.
like we live in this society where everything is performative. Like people want to be social media influencers or like even outside in the world in social environments, work, school, like public, wherever, there's a there's roles. Everybody has
Mm-hmm.
like these roles that they play. Like I'm at the restaurant. When I'm at the restaurant with my black clothes on, I'm taking you to this table. I'm like giving you menus. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm not doing that, I'm this other guy. And then I'm not doing that, I'm this other guy, right? It's like we compartmentalize the performances that we have to give around people. And so there's levels of understanding that you can only achieve to a certain extent with certain people. Like you're only ever going to understand your coworkers to a point unless they become a personal friend. And then that's like a new category in your mind that is now a different level of understanding that you're trying to reach with someone, right? And I think the ultimate understanding of somebody or any person or yourself is like, it does feel impossible because if more than anything, it's like hard to define. Like, what does it mean to understand myself? Like, it means I know why I do the things I do. But then is
Do
that
you?
and that's the thing is that I'm not sure. You can tell yourself a lot of things, dude. You could tell yourself a lot of things, and people tell themselves a lot of lies. And sometimes you don't realize that you're lying to yourself. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
don't catch it until there's a moment, and then you catch it, and you're like, "Fuck." And people can
Yeah.
lie, and people can do that their whole lives, right? Because they're so busy
Right.
working on this performance of life, like this compartmentalization of every sphere of our lives, and like you don't think it's kind of like a mind fuck to like have to do that all the time? I mean, we've talked about it of like
Mm-hmm.
having to split things off into like their place. It's like,
Dude, honestly, I think it's exhausting. I
mm-hmm,
think everybody, like, generally maybe feels kind of like exhausted because there's like these big ass fucking systems, man, that just don't like let people be themselves. There's no like space,
yeah,
like that's what's like kind of like beautiful about like at least like a healthy family,
yeah,
right? Is it's like it doesn't matter how fucking stupid, ugly, smelly, wrong, broken they are, they're your
yeah,
family. And when you guys are like able to take care of each other and like
yes,
you know, at different levels, but especially like economically,
mm-hmm,
you know, people don't feel like they have to put on a fucking mask to live their life every day. They just
mm-hmm,
get to be themselves around the people who know them and
yeah.
understand them and stuff. And it's like, I
I
don't
think
know. I
to
don't know about all that. I haven't lived in that world, and so maybe it's just like this romantic fantasy of like a time long past. Maybe alienation is something people have suffered since the beginning of time. But I got
it's
I got
higher.
family and older relatives
I
that
think it's
lived in
higher
a,
now.
a time where.
There's higher levels of alienation now for sure, but I think it's like mostly the technology of everything or whatever, but there is also new pockets of understanding, like weird sub communities and people who communicate like just on interests, like Reddit, for as stupid and like as much of like a shitty meme it is to be like a Reddit person, like that is a huge community of like different communities where like
Hmm.
you go on the Boots subreddit and someone with your boots has the same problems and he had the same problems like 10 years ago, and then you like look and he's like, oh yeah, the stitching does come off or whatever, and like maybe he's French, right? Maybe he's like, yo, I went on the Reddit, I went on Reddit to see if they had the watercolor, the water bottle color that I have was rare, and so I went to r/r/yetis, and it turned out there was free threads that had the same problem, and it turns out that my water bottle is worth $1,600 US dollars.
All right.
So it's French. It's French Reddit guy. It's French Reddit guy. We're doing the 9 lives of Dead World. It's the French Reddit guy. It's the fucking Christian Bale. It's Bayou Buddha. That's 3, and it's Cosmic Vato. We got 4 right now, guys. That's a good.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Oh, and we got Nigel. I just focus on the records, mate. All this philosophy talk is not for me, mate. I do have a question though. Would you happen to know where the loo is, mate? I really need to take the piss, and have been waiting a while. I'm kind of shy, mate.
That one's in the wings, dude. That one's in the wings.
It's like 4.5. It's like a nice 4.5 characters. That's a perfect. Let's pause real quick right here.
Juan.
What's up, guys? We're back. It's episode 9 of Dead World. It's the Germany episode. Jonah, you had something to say?
Packed and I'm holding. I swear that she's folding. She lives for me.
Mm-hmm. And that's our tribute to I'm guessing the Strokes, right? That's a Strokes song.
Doing meth.
Third Eye Blind.
Mm-hmm.
Third World Blind is crazy. That's a funny band. That's a funny band name. Third World Blind.
Third World Blind.
That's what you said. That's cool.
Damn,
it's like they do like multi-genre, they're like Bjork, Third World Blind. That'd be cool. It's like a global collective, right? It's a global collective of internet artists that make everything. Third World Blind. That's right. Semi-Char Khan alive, a baby. Yeah, that's right. Then you can watch that, guys, on episode 8 of Dead World, 008, Waymo Samsara, I believe is where I sang that one. Mm-hmm. Great episode. Wow, we did. Wow, what a terrific job they did. Those Dead World boys. People are saying it's the best episode of the Dead World. I can't, dude. I give up.
I might watch it. I might not.
It's like bad for my
Nobody knows if I'll watch it.
I would love it. You know what, dude? It would be cool if one of our 32 listeners was the sitting president of the United States of America, even if he's a bad guy. You're kind of like, well, that's kind of just nice. That's, that's validating a little bit. I love what they talk about. Dude, I might be getting, yours is rubbing off on me. I figured out how to do that from hearing you, man. I learned it from watching you.
It's more like the exaggerating, like,
I feel like I've been trying to go airy with
the high and low part of it. It's like when he does it high, when he's like big, and when he's small.
Yes, dude. Yes. No, that's exactly right. Yeah, he's like Chinese with it in a sense, because like Chinese, it's Mandarin has like 4 tones, so it's a very tonal language, right? And it's like learning Donald Trump's accent is a little bit sort of like learning Chinese. You know what I mean? And maybe he hates that. Because that's not good for him, right? It's the Geopolitics Hour. We're watching Dead World, episode 9.
Bro,
the 9 lives of Dead
let's
World.
talk about this, dude. How about that guy that he went on a goddamn killing spree, bro, on straight assassin mode.
Awesome.
No, the guy who, dude, he assassinated the senator.
I know now.
Minnesota.
Okay, yes. I know who you're talking about with the purge mask and shit.
I don't know. I didn't know anything about the like mask.
There's been efforts,
honestly, dude.
There's been efforts.
A lot of love for Luigi, and I don't even know what the whole deal is with this guy.
I don't look, man. Listen, I don't support
because they put that shit out there really hard when Luigi shot that guy, because I think they thought everybody was going to be like, wow, how horrible.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
and there were hush hush,
and there were people, and there are people who like believe that about any of these people. And honestly, man, like, look, I don't condone violence in any way, in any shape or form, against any living being or a natural object or animal at all. If we're talking about political history, the biggest changes have come from violence, which is an unfortunate truth. It's kind of law. It's like the last place. It almost feels like, and hear me out on this, and this I hope is a good way to segue away from this insane topic you decided to bring up. But like, I feel you're right. But I feel like as like mankind, right? We have separated ourselves from nature, right? We've conquered nature. We harvest the planet for its resources, and we make other stuff, right? but it's not like the law of the jungle doesn't exist. You know what I mean? It's still there, in fact, because all of the law of the jungle means is like kill or be killed, right? Like just violence,
Mhm.
period. Essentially, like just at the most base level, like self-defense, violence, whatever. Like when you're an animal in the wild, you have to like fucking fight off some coyotes sometimes or something, right? But it's like it feels like we have as a human society like basically distilled and like distributed the law of the jungle into the systems that we have, right? Like the capitalist financial system of like winners and losers and like that kind of thing. And then not just that, but like the war machines, the nation states, the global structure, the organization of people by like nationality or ethnicity or like honestly, I feel like the how we were talking about how I was talking about, and because I don't know if you responded to this because we segued a bit, but like when I was talking about how like I believe everything feels things in a way, right? Whatever
Uh-huh.
feeling kind of could mean, you know what I mean? Obviously, maybe not the same way. Like I don't know, a tree is not going to feel maybe emotion the same way we do, but there are like
Alvaro,
patterns.
touch
Yes,
touch touch ground with me right now, man.
touching ground.
What the hell
Yeah,
does this have to do with that guy,
that has to piss.
a former police officer
Listen,
going into the home
he went
of a
crazy. Clearly, some guy went nuts, dude. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, why does
what's
anyone do
the
anything?
what's the I, you
I
know
suppose you could call it. You could call it a terrorist act, even because it was like probably politically driven in some way. I've seen like online. They've been trying to make him like a left wing guy because he was like under the administration of Mike Waltz when he was governor, and like this and that. But that's mostly because like he was just kind of like a bureaucrat. It was like he's like you know what I mean? These people that get appointed to a seat by a governor and then like a new governor comes in and sometimes they fire everybody, sometimes they just leave him there because like what, like did he do anything, is he fine, like is he good, you know what I mean?
uh
They'll just like reappoint a guy or whatever, and he was appointed by a different governor, I think, and when Mike Waltz got elected to office he was like just reappointed him because he's just like doing whatever like bureaucratic administrative shit he was doing. um so I don't know how much speculation there is as to what his
it's just
political
it's
ideology
a
was.
guy bringing a gun into the office type situation. He's just
No,
real
dude, this
pissed,
guy went into their
or is that what
houses,
you
man.
well, no, that's what I mean is like it's like this is like a work related like fire type. That's what you're saying? Doesn't go much
No,
further than
that's
that?
not what I'm saying. I'm
Okay.
saying that, I mean, I'm saying like, and to be honest with you, man, I haven't read enough about this case whatsoever. I've read just a little bit, and I know that like, yeah, he was like an employee, and I've seen the pictures that are very disturbing and shit. But like, it's hard to say what his beliefs were because I haven't done a lot of research into it.
Mhm.
But I'm saying that I have seen efforts by like really conservative motherfuckers to like make him a left wing guy. Like there's been senators that have said it. There's been like just different people, man. Just these fucking demons, dude. Like God, like Republican politicians are like,
wasn't
ugh.
the
And Democrats
the
suck too, by the way.
woman
Dead world.
the senator
Mm-hmm.
that he killed wasn't she wasn't Democrat? A
She was,
Democrat
yeah. No, I
figure?
think both of the people that he killed were
Oh,
Democratic
okay.
lawmakers. Yeah.
She was like establishment or something
I
or
don't know what it could have been. I don't think he was left. I don't, me
uh,
personally, just knowing, just seeing what's going on online, I don't think he was left wing, particularly ideal. I don't know if he was particularly ideological and to begin with, right? I mean, only to the extent that he would kill lawmakers.
damn.
But it's not, I'm not sure to say whether it's because they were Democrat or because this, because that
Right.
personal thing. I have no idea.
Do
So
do
it's
you
like,
do you remember that story of the dude in Colorado
mhm.
who he basically was like he was like fucked over by like the small town government
With the
and
killdozer guy,
the killdozer guy, dude.
the killdozer guy.
Yeah, do you remember that story? Dude, I
Apparently, so the facts of that story are even stupider because he got paid out like so much money before, like they were offering to pay him like a ton of money.
yeah, yeah.
And like, I don't even think that's what the problem was. Wait, hold on. No, like this one, see, fuck that other shit, whatever, dude. I'm gonna look up the killdozer
Cuz
facts, all right?
the killdozer guy may
I'll
as
move
well be
straight on.
fucking Johnny Appleseed, bro. He's a goddamn American hero. He's like a mythical figure
I've read some stuff
in
that,
my
okay,
life
so
at
he
least.
felt wronged by the town and its officials after losing a property dispute and facing fines for code violations. He felt targeted and believed they were corrupt and conspiring against him. He
That
spent
sounds petty.
over a year secretly building a heavily armored bulldozer, dude.
That's so sick.
Reinforced with steel and concrete, making it nearly impervious to bullets and explosives. He installed cameras and viewing ports. This guy made a tank because he had to pay some taxes, bro. Americans are pussies, dude. That is ridiculous.
But it was like, you know what, dude? I don't know where you're getting that like little snippet of this more complicated situation.
It's the AI. It's the Google AI summary.
Okay,
that's right. Dead World.
Whatever. That's the man, dude.
He demolished
trying to rewrite
13
history,
buildings, dude.
make it small as hell so that we don't actually ask any questions. Dude.
Well, I guess, and then he killed him. He just killed himself at the end. He fucking demolished 13 buildings.
Because he didn't want to pay taxes. Wow, how convenient.
Insane,
man.
Dude.
No.
You think there's like a deeper? You're like,
bro, there is.
Oh, you're a Killdozer truther, bro.
Look up the Killdozer documentary. It's like on Netflix, bro.
I've seen the Killdozer. I've seen the Killdozer documentary.
It paints a more complicated picture.
Look, it's not. I'm not entirely. Listen, I'm not
AI bullshit Google review of.
And this is for the. And this is for the clips. Hold on,
yeah, I don't know.
And this is for the clips.
He didn't hurt anybody, man. He just fucked their shit up. You know.
Yeah, man. I'm not. Listen. All right.
They call it Killdozer, but again, right?
It's just because it's catchy. Someone just thought of it. Yeah.
He didn't kill anybody.
That's a great monster truck name, dude. There should be a Killdozer monster truck. Are you kidding me? The little Caesars Killdozer. There's not a Killdozer, bro. There's no way, because they won't do it out of respect for the 13 properties that got destroyed. They're like, out of respect for the victims. It was like a former mayor's house and the town hall. He destroyed. Wait, did he destroy the town hall? Let me make sure that was right. Yeah, dude. He demolished the town hall. That's psycho shit. That's hilarious. It is really, on its face, incredibly funny.
Underneath the bridge.
Here's what I'll say. I don't hate the Killdozer. I believe the Killdozer was 100% satisfied. Justified in his decision to destroy the town hall. Yeah. Wait, do you have the claps? Can you do the claps?
Can I do the claps?
Wait, hold on. Let me do it again. I believe that the Killdozer man had every right to do what he did. Nice. That's the applause. The snare is mandatory. Yeah, that's right, guys. Yeah, this is for the Killdozer. This is the Dead World official endorsement of Richard Heemmeyer, whatever the fuck his name was. The Killdozer guy.
A man can only be pushed so far, dude.
Marvin John Heemmeyer. Dude, he had almost my birthday. We had almost the same birthday. That's crazy.
Yeah. He got in his tank and he was like,
"Why you bullying me?"
At the town hall, yeah. He's like at the town hall. What do you think? Was he playing music in the Killdozer? You think he was like? It was 2000.
We do not care.
It was 2004, so he was probably playing like "Into Club" by 50 Cent in the Killdozer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like go. And he's just like running over a house. Go, shawty. It's your birthday.
Oh my god. I bet he was listening to Hurt by Johnny Cash, dude. I bet
You think?
Totally.
I feel like maybe like Steely Dan, bro. Maybe he looks like a yacht rock guy.
He was reeling in the ears, dude.
Doobie Brothers. He's playing like What a Fool Believes. What a Fool Believes. And he's just like
oh my god.
That's what I mean, he probably wasn't even doing all that. That shit was so like outfitted up. There probably was no resistance on like it was not a bumpy ride, bro. That shit was like a flat tank, like zzz, just running over shit. It's fucked up, man. Guys, don't do a Killdozer and don't hurt lawmakers.
Hey,
just make fun of them. Just throw paint on them or something.
Hey, guys, listen, violence is not the answer.
Except when it is, and
what
we
also
can't.
isn't right is letting like one group of people, whether it be like some sort of like ideologically driven group or a government or a police force or anything else, be the only ones who use violence. You know what I mean? It's
well,
you know what I mean? You can't give
that's sort of the definition.
You can't give away your power, dude.
Well, that's kind of the thing is that's kind of the
but
definition.
Don't be violent, right? It's like
because that's the definition of a state. Like when a state is violent, people find all sorts of ways to rationalize it. Like they're like, yeah, that's the violence department of humanity. Like, you know what I mean? Like they put it over there.
I mean,
like
listen,
cops can be violent, soldiers can be violent.
Right,
like they're allowed, like they're sanctioned for it. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, right? Is it's like. It's the premise is that it's like allowed, right? You know what I mean? Like you're given either like permission or Dude, I hate to
Mm.
say it, but like in a weird way, like the privilege of it, right? Because like people have a violent inclinations, man, and they sublimate it into like either like
Mm-hmm.
weird passive aggressive bullshit
Yep.
or
Karens.
any type of like
All sorts of
toxic
things.
behavior,
Well, yeah, they direct
you
it.
know.
Well, that's the most important thing almost about
Um,
like emotions, right? Regulation and stuff.
right.
People, we live in a society of misdirected anger in every direction, right? Like
Well, and so
by
that's why
everybody, by everybody.
you know what I
That's
mean?
not,
It's like a
there's
responsibility,
not,
but it's also a privilege in a certain way to be like the guy who gets to walk around with a gun making sure shit doesn't go
yeah.
down.
There's
You know
just,
what I
there's
mean?
not a lot of people that understand their anger or can handle it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally,
Like
totally.
myself included, it is a really scary emotion. And like, a lot of it gets taken out online these days, and like that's maybe a harmless way to do it in a sense, right? You're just, it's like that Tyler the Creator tweet. It's like, why is cyberbullying real, bro? Like, just turn it off. Like, just like close the screen, bro. Damn. But like, yeah, I mean that's like a big thing where it's like the legal system, the financial system, the legal system is a big sublimation of anger, of like human anger, right? Because it's justice,
Yeah,
right?
bro. I mean, the idea of punishment, dude, is like it's like arbitrary, dude. It's like a way of directing our like tendency or draw towards like cruelty and
Hmm.
like justifying it, because like, it hurts to be the victim of someone else's like violence or like their disregard or their indifference,
Yep.
you know, but to be like, hey, they deserve this kind of punishment, whether it be like an imprisonment or to feel some sort of pain or have something taken away from them. It's just like it's like fucking meaningless, man. You know what I mean? The damage is done.
It's
What
hard
what is
to.
hurting another person gonna do? And it's like, what is positioning yourself where you're able to do that? Is it's like, okay, well that's what they did,
Well,
right? When
so
they
then,
fucking hurt you. So it's like,
but
so what's the real answer? You know?
I think what the legal system does is it exists as like the best that they were able to do when it was created. And honestly, like the way the legal system kind of is outlined, right? Like from what I've learned, it's like laws that exist, and then a lot of law exists in the form of history, basically, right? Like case law, precedent, all that kind of stuff. It's like every case that comes before a court, like, is informed by cases just like it in that court
Hmm.
and in other courts, like from like there's certain cases I've had to read for school that are from like 1850, and it's like this is just when this law became like this was like one of the landmark times that like the law changed like how it was interpreted or whatever.
Hmm.
And it's obviously imperfect, of course, because like it's made of like judges that get appointed by presidents and then judges that get elected and then people who work their way up, and then it's like all these different layers of things. And like to some extent it's a positive thing because it allows people with less resources to get some sort of remediate, not just, I'm not going to call it justice, but like remediation or something from
Right,
bigger
right.
people, like and it's good that the legal system exists to the extent that like a person who's like an individual can sue a massive multinational corporation and win, right?
Yeah. Dude, I don't know enough about anything to like uh
I don't either. I just know a
disagree.
little more to just be able to
Um
explain a little bit of it, and maybe I have formed my own type of
well,
like legal ideology. The more I learn about it, like the more
what
I
I'm
can at least understand its place. Not to agree with everything it does, but it is a
right,
very human construction. It's a
right. Well,
project, kind of.
if we're talking like a larger like ideas here, dude, I think it is just like, yeah, this sort of like sublimation maybe, and it's like it's kind of putting this like jungle law. It's like you put the critter in a suit or
Exactly. That's what
whatever,
I'm saying, man. Yeah,
and
that's
and
like
it's
the
not bad, it's not good, it's what it is, right? And so
right.
it does have this like some people have like recourse to
Hmm.
find like a justice that otherwise wouldn't be permitted in this like sort of more primal way of dealing with one another.
And it's also like
But
it's
but
also
the bigger idea is that like we have to do something about like this kind of like jungle law, violent
yeah,
exchange,
something
power
has
game
to.
way of
Well,
dealing with each other.
that's what kind
And
of a
so,
government that I feel
yeah,
like that would be if anything that is the prime function to me of a
right.
government. Like that's the extent of to which I believe in government, right? Like I'm not like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't call myself an anarchist at all necessarily.
Uh-huh.
I mean, obviously in the utopian sense, like if that
Right,
was
right.
possible, it would be best. But I do believe that, like, yeah, I mean, a government is just one layer removed from like pure law of the jungle, like bandits and like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And that still exists in certain places and like failed states and like all this kind of stuff. And it's like, well, humans have like a natural tendency to governance in a sense. And like everything, every government that exists right now is just like a continuous chain of inherited mistakes going back to everything before it. You know what I mean? Like there's people whose like great grandparents were like in the Ottoman Empire, and then
Right.
there's people who were, you know what I mean? It's like these systems of government come from like ancient fucking times. Like
Yeah.
like Egypt, the first I wrote one of my papers in college about the taxation system in ancient Egypt when like one of Alexander the Great's generals like took his region. Like when Alexander the Great died, he had like 7 generals basically, maybe 9. Maybe it's the 9 generals of Dead World, right? But they basically split. Like when he died, bro, they had like everything. I think the only bigger empire was like Genghis Khan's at one point. But Alexander the Great dies at 33. Um, and then these 6 generals or whatever split his regions up into like their own kingdoms or whatever. And this guy Ptolemy took Egypt. Ptolemy, Ptolemy, right? Cleopatra was a Ptolemy, right? Like she was in that
Hmm.
lineage and stuff. But like he established a taxation system in ancient Egypt, bro. Like we're talking 300 BC. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
which is still like Egypt's existed thousands of years longer, but we're talking 300 BC. Yeah, they had it's like feudal shit. It's like ancient shit. It's like an empire, right? It's like everyone's paying tribute, this and that. But this dude set up like a taxation system, like back in the day, that like worked for every. He was doing progressive taxation, where he's like making rich people um pay more. What's going on here? What is Deadworld disappeared?
Keep going, man.
Jonah's gone.
I'm here.
Um, so yeah, they established this progressive taxation system of like, and it helped them distribute resources better and like build armies out better. And like, it just became, I think it was one of the most successful of those regions. And it
Hmm.
eventually became like more modern Egypt or whatever. And I think eventually probably got taken over by either the Turks or the Huns or both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's really fascinating. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, even America, it's only like 250 years old. It's about to be 250 next year. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's relatively new. But yeah, the Constitution, it's so interesting how much of it, it's interesting how important a Constitution is as a document. Do you know what I mean? Like it basically defines everything. Because like the legal system itself, it's like chained to the Constitution. It's like,
Yeah.
if it says this in the Constitution, like this is what it is. Like that is the supreme law of the land or whatever. And that's like a fascinating thing to be like, there's more important law and less important law, but like the Constitution is like the base structuring of the whole government system. It's like these states get this many senators, they get this many
Uh-huh.
whatevers, they get like the each amendment is like there's 20, it's been 250 years and there's like 28 amendments, I think.
Hmm.
Like that's not a lot. That's maybe one every slightly less than 10 years, but like a lot of those happened like way before. It's
Right.
so hard to make an amendment now, like, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm sorry, I'm geeking, but like,
No, I mean, dude, it's an interesting to like trip out on, but it really highlights the fact that like you can't just be like, hey, like have a fuck it all attitude. That doesn't work, you know.
yeah.
There's something, that you can maybe like build on. The thing that I just like understand
Hmm.
is that, you can't use like the police and military against and for them to be like, "Oh, well, what can I do?" Like,
Right.
fuck that, right? Everybody's gonna get very upset, right?
Hmm.
They're gonna start throwing shit from overpasses, and they're gonna
Yeah.
start lighting things on fire and not letting you into places. And it's like, what's more dangerous than like a unhealthy relationship between like police and the people they're
And people and
policing?
civilians. Yeah.
You know, like what's
Have you seen The
more
Wire? Have you seen The Wire?
through the wire? No, I
No,
haven't.
dude. Honestly, man, you would enjoy it. You would absolutely enjoy it. It's great television, bro. It's maybe
Okay.
better than Breaking Bad for sure. It's up there. And
Uh,
I still haven't. And I still.
dude, Breaking Bad is
No, man.
really a
No,
really
man.
really good
Dude, The
show.
Wire is
If you
and
haven't finished Breaking
I
Bad,
agree
then
with you. No, I agree with you
uh,
about Breaking Bad, but like that's how good The Wire is that I'm telling you
yeah,
that like I've at once I watched The Wire, I was like, okay, these two are going to be juggling in my mind for a bit as like number one tradable. I would call it a tie, But there's also I haven't seen The Sopranos yet, and that's a lot of people's number one, so I gotta watch that. And then I can do like, hey Tony, like fucking, I'll do the mobster. It's like oh okay, so I have one. It's a guy. He's a mobster. But his boss is like a really like new gen kind of guy. He's like, he gets juices. He gets like pressed juices. He does like hot yoga. So it's a goon. It's a goon, not in the internet sense, but like old style, like a, beret goon with a bruiser. He's like a bruiser for the mobster guy, right? But so his boss has been making him go to hot yoga at like 7:30 in the morning every day. And it's really been fucking with his energy. And so he's talking about, he's like, you know what I mean? He's like, fucking, I know I can't stay out too late. I gotta go to bed. The boss has been having us doing hot yoga at 7:30 every Saturday. And it's a real problem. I'm a night guy. How are we supposed to do our fucking jobs? I'm trafficking people. I'm supposed to do this during the day because you want to fucking sweat with the downward doggy? I don't like this. I'm sorry, babe. I can't talk to you tonight. It's like that. He's like his girl is trying to go out with him. Yeah? Yeah.
Yoga.
Hot yoga mob. Hot yoga goon. Hot yoga goon. Yeah. That's
yoga.
5. That's 5.
Okay.
That's the official 5. Yeah.
We had a pretty good one earlier. It was Aquaman.
Christopher Walken. I used to ride a whale to the set of Balls of Fury because we were filming in Sri Lanka, and I have with my powers. I can talk to the whales, and they would give me a ride. I would go between southwestern India and Sri Lanka to the set. Right? That's all I can. I mean, that's really the extent of my Christopher Walken impression. It's kind of like saying, the tone is more about the words, and then as I say the words, I maybe start to sound like Bernie Sanders.
Have you ever watched The Deer Hunter?
No.
It is.
I'll put it on my list. Wait, hold on. I got a list.
It's really pretty good, but
I got a list of movies that I'll maybe one day watch.
Super fucked up, but it's got a young Christopher Walken in it, and the way he goes out is just
The Deer Hunter. You said
intense. Yeah, The Deer Hunter.
Dude, I love that. I love a movie with an actor doing really cool shit. I want to watch The Lighthouse because that seems interesting. Oh, I should put that on the list. The Willem Dafoe one.
Yeah. You know what? If you want to watch a cool Willem Dafoe movie that I think kind of went under the radar,
Celia
the
Johnson,
last couple of years,
Willem Dafoe,
it was called Inside. Like
Bo
Burnham, like the Bo Burnham special, but it's called Inside.
No, you mean like the word? You mean like the word inside? Why is like the Bo Burnham? Has nothing to do with the Bo Burnham special.
No, well, Bo Burnham's special was called Inside.
Right, it was called the same thing, but the word inside precedes Bo Burnham's special.
I mean, dude,
you mean inside like in my house? Like inside? What? Oh, inside like in my brain.
Okay, dude, for me, that Inside special was like a landmark piece of COVID art. It was
I really liked it, yeah. I enjoyed it.
Pretty great.
I only watched it once, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
What was more memorable for me?
What was cool about that is he actually put out like a second cut using all the stuff he didn't use in the original cut for Netflix. I haven't seen that. And that's on YouTube. Really? And it's like a much darker message. It's like more...
It's like kill yourself.
He's less like there's like
well, he had that one song. He had that song "Kill Yourself."
Like flickering candle of optimism in that Inside special. It is blown out and gone. It is a cold room. Damn how the other one ends. Yeah, but it's still crazy. Silly.
I was on Bo Burnham in 2007, bro. I remember watching him in like 5th grade.
Yeah,
because he did like My Whole Family Thinks I'm Gay on Comedy Central Presents, I believe. He had a Comedy Central Presents special when he was like 16.
Right. No, he's pretty good, man.
Shout out Bo Burnham, bro. Come on the podcast. Hey, why not? Hey, yo, Bo. Hey, Bo.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Bo. And if I were gay, though, I swear I'm straight. I'd make the fellas say, right? Come on the show, dude. Come on, Dead World. We would love to talk to you. You're just down our alley, bro. I feel like we have so many good questions we could ask you.
There was
if you see this, let us know.
He hasn't done a whole lot of stuff, but there was a movie that he actually came out in not too long ago. No,
he came out in a movie.
He did the 8th grade. Yeah. That was a pretty good movie.
I haven't seen
it.
But I'll put that down.
Oh no, it's good. Yeah, it's worth a watch. That's a good.
I also haven't seen mid-90s.
That one's pretty decent. You know, dude, I can relate to that one because I was like a little fucking skater kid back in the day.
Do you think that's what Jonah Hill showed Kanye West that made him stop being anti-Semitic? Oh no, he saw 21 Jump Street. Did you see that tweet?
No, I didn't, man. I missed that.
So early, because he went. This was before the song, but like early in the Nazi thing, he was like, "Hey guys, I'm sorry, I'm no longer a Nazi. I watched 21 Jump Street and Jonah Hill's performance just blew me away. I'm sorry."
Okay.
And then I think he also released that in Hebrew. I think he posted it in Hebrew on his Instagram.
That's very funny.
It's good stuff. I mean, hey man, for the bit, sure. I think if you look at Kanye as a bit, like it works. He's a troll. He's trolling.
This is just like a Kanye controversy podcast at this point, man. We talk about.
I'm sorry to cover it all the time. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. All right. Okay. Fine. No more. There was
a moment earlier where I was gonna like bring up Kanye, and I was like,
no, Kanye was a Nazi, but only for a little bit because then you watched the Jonah Hill movie. No, yeah, you're right. All right, fine. Well, then I could do like a John Travolta. What about let's do a trait? What John Travolta? But he's what? But he's got a. Because I did one where he's like he found a spider.
John Travolta, but he's being harassed by a black teen at a gas station.
All right, let's try it. Okay, let's see. Hey man, could I get a pack of the Marlboro Reds? Whoa, hey man, I don't want any trouble. Whoa, you gotta back up. You gotta back up for me. You know, something like that. Something like that. No,
a hard, no bullshit realist. Performance by Alpharo there.
Yeah, how about Well, I had this one video that will like get a little views on TikTok here and there where it's like it was me. I just put a picture of John Travolta's face and it was a voicemail where he found a spider and he killed it and it was like a really big spider. So here, I got you. Hold on. All right. Hey babe, it's Johnny. You got to call me back. I just killed this spider in my house. It was enormous. It was like one of those wolf spiders. It was huge and it was running so fast, but I got it with the flip-flop. Just call me when you get a chance. I really love to talk to you. Beep. Right?
Man,
I don't know.
Bot views.
It's maybe Greek. Yeah, it is botted. It's botted. You're right.
That was Christopher Walken, basically, dude.
You know what?
The same thing.
Listen.
Talking.
So I shot myself in the foot by doing the John Travolta right after Christopher Walken. It's not good to have them back to back, right?
Okay.
For sure, because they do sound they are very much in the same ballpark for me. And I don't really remember what John Travolta talks like. It's been a minute since I've seen a movie of his. But The Taking of Pelham 123 was pretty good. It was like the remake of the 70s one. Yeah, it was not bad. I watched that one in theaters a minute ago, whenever it came out.
He was in a pretty fun Christmas commercial for a credit card recently.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The Capital One Extra Rewards.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Comes with a complimentary season pass to Jonah's Hole when you spend a qualifying $5,000.
You know, man, if I could just be a commercial actor and just make money that way, I do.
Like on a national campaign.
You know, like one shoot a month type shit. Like that sounds perfect.
Yeah, everyone's got their dream. But the thing is, like, broadcast TV's not like that anymore. Like, there used to be a lot more money in that kind of thing.
Bro, what if you and me were the Sonic guys? You know what I mean?
That'd be awesome. That's perfect. How did you figure that out so fast?
Guys, and we just
That's fucking perfect, dude. We could easily do Sonic guys. We could do Jack in the Box guys. We could be the Panda Express guys because that's kind of what I rep most of the time.
Gross.
That's the closest we can. They've liked my story before. You know what I mean?
Really?
So it's like, yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
Because you at them all the time.
I didn't at them all the time. I added them that time, and they liked it. All right.
Really?
I don't at them all the time. I don't do this for the money, man. I
do it for the sugar chicken, dude.
I do it for the fucking honey sesame chicken breast, bitch.
Damn, bro. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Honestly, that would be sick. What if we were like Flo and the redhead guy from the insurance?
The Allstate guy? Where he's like, I'm chaos or whatever. The white guy that's been on Allstate for like 13 years. You remember before him it was the guy who was the president on 24. You remember that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the really deep voice.
He's still around on there doing sometimes? The voice. Yeah.
Like the more serious Allstate commercials, the more like when you need to take care of your family, instead of like, this is me. I'm a car crash.
You know what's his what is his name? The guy from Whiplash?
Miles Teller.
No, the other one.
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons, dude. Get him for State Farm. Pretty sweet grab.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he'd be like, not quite my rate. Not quite my rate. Yeah, that's not quite my interest rate. No, we need a lower interest rate. Okay, that's good. J.K. Simmons, but he's selling insurance. Yeah. It's J.K. Simmons in Whiplash selling insurance.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, okay. That's what, 6?
That's 6.
That's 6, dude. All right. So J.K. Simmons, a lot of Christian Bale, J.K. Simmons. Was it Christopher Walken, but he's a Republican? Aquaman, that's right. I talked to the whales. Yeah, why? I don't know why whales specifically.
Bayou Buddha,
the
British producer who
Nigel is fucking
doesn't know how to ask for the bathroom.
I've got to piss, mate. Well, I'm tired of. I've been holding it for hours, mate. It's been 4 hours, and I've been trying to ask you, but I've got to ask you now. Where's the loo, man? You got to tell me, man. Where's the loo? I need to piss, man. Right?
You know, at this point, it's a real funky bunch.
I'm not saying he's my favorite. Yeah. Well, semen, we can't do semen retention James Bond, unfortunately. That's taken by our episode 007. Go listen.
Man, you're so proud of that one, dude.
I love that one. Was fun,
you know what
man. That's a fun one.
I didn't realize because I listened to it is there was you threw up a bunch of photos. You must have because
I did.
And one of them was particularly mean.
I put photos of you?
I think so.
No, I just did like cat dog and like the.
I mean, maybe.
And I did the GoldenEye footage, like you said. All right.
That was pretty cool. How'd you get that? Was that a pain in the ass?
No, I found it like immediately. It was like on the Internet Archive, and it was like free. All right, that's like the worst one you could do, bro. They're gonna log out. They're gonna stop watching. Are you kidding? That's like, oh my God. I hear that.
Point, who's watching other than your mother?
I don't know if she listens to the podcast, man.
Yeah. My parents asked me about it, and I showed them, and
they're like,
my dad might. He's bored as hell, but my mom listens to Father Mike Schmidt. That's
fire.
Her that's
her
podcast.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Catholic
just listening to church all the time. That's high, dude. I feel like that's highly advanced. Actually, I feel like that might be the natural end state for any podcast listener. Is you just end up starting to listen to like live sermons.
Dude, honestly, like.
Might be good.
You know, her media is never gonna like the algorithm is never gonna even try it. But like you could red pill my mom, no problem. Like really, she could be like fucking Goggins coded.
Don't doubt it. The algorithm is trying.
Christian.
Don't doubt it.
Like hard, like I don't know. You know, maybe not.
Maybe not. We're all susceptible, man. Yeah. We're all victims, man.
I found out that you can do like a hard reset on your like algorithm on like most of these things, and
you just make like a new account usually, no?
I don't know, man. I got like all my fake bot followers on my account. I can't just abandon them, you know?
Yeah, all those Taiwanese Instagram models.
Taiwanese
or Indonesian or like Philippine. It's a lot of that kind of stuff comes from like Southeast Asia, India, right? India has a lot of bot accounts because they can get money off the money that they can get off ads, off of like exposure or engagement on some of these platforms. Like it's not a lot for Western people, but in other countries it's pretty useful. So you're gonna see a lot of accounts. That's why a lot of bots on Twitter are Indian. Yeah. Sort of a demographic fact. Yeah. Maybe not, or maybe not. I say things as facts. I read that on Twitter as well.
Mm-hmm. You know, man, you're kind of just this like mouthpiece for.
That's right. Voice of a generation.
For Twitter.
I'm the Twitter guy. You got to be the other guy. I'm the Twitter guy. You're like the.
What's the other guy?
I don't know. You know a lot about like DC Comics and. Marvel? You're not. You're more of a DC guy, right? Yeah, you're like honestly, you seem more of like just a Batman guy in terms of comics because you seem to know more about
the stuff he's like involved in, I guess.
Dude, I really like Spider-Man too, man. Can we just have a second to talk about Spider-Man?
I read this this Daredevil comic recently, which like, bro, you're a lawyer. 60. You should be reading.
I'm not
Daredevil.
A lawyer. I am not a lawyer. This is not legal advice ever, Deadwood.
Right. So, fucking Daredevil, right? He comes back, man, after
right.
He's like Jimmy.
He's like Better Call Saul.
Explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know exactly because I don't keep up with.
He's blind. Story. He's blind, right? He's not deaf.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He's got like super hearing.
Right, right. Well, all of his senses
Super
have been like
smell. Yeah,
increased.
easy.
Yeah. A bunch of stuff. And so, anyways, he comes back after being like thought to be dead, but really just like injured pretty bad.
Yeah.
And he kind of like lost his powers almost. You know what I mean? Like healing's hard after like kind of like a really traumatic injury. You know, at a certain age.
Yeah.
And so, whatever. He starts fucking around. He tries to be Daredevil again, and he just can't do it. And so what ends up happening is Spider-Man actually like comes into his apartment one night and is like, "Look, man, I know it sucks, but like you gotta stop." And so he's like, "All right, fuck it."
You gotta stop doing that, man. You have to stop beating up random people extrajudicially in the streets.
Man, you know what, dude? It's like everybody that doesn't read comics has like the worst like straw man takes on like the I don't know.
Vigilante part
the
of it.
vigilante like part of like anybody's deal. Like people like Batman doesn't kill, really. I've seen him break people's necks, like type shit.
So just because this guy's a lizard, you have to fight him without the permission of the government? Like, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. That is like some real dork shit.
Shout out Rock Hard, bro. God damn, dude. Insane. He's like at the riots. He's got the
yeah.
He's like, here's and then there's one video where he's like giving my vehicle to a civilian like to keep because he had a scooter in one video. He was like, this is the Rock Hard scooter. It's like the official scooter. And then the next video, it's like 30 seconds with some girl who's like clearly confused. And he's like, you say you don't have a car? Like, that's Rock Hard. He's like, you said you don't have a car? And she's like, yeah, no. And he's like, here, you can have this. And she like gives her the scooter. And then he's like, he's got the like suit. He's got the get ready with me. And he's like putting on the suit now that he's revealed his face. He like puts on the suit. And then he goes to a store and he's like showing the guy the shield. And he's like, yeah, it's bulletproof. That's what they said. I got it on Amazon. And then the video ends, man. It's an amazing bit. All right. The Rock Hard is an incredible bit.
Dude, it's not
it's
even
experiential.
It's like deeply sincere. That's the only way something like that happens.
No, man. I think this man is an entertainer. I think he is a natural entertainer. And he's like, I don't know. I wonder how much longer he'll be Rock Hard. That's my question. Is he for real? Like, he's for real Rock Hard. Like, in 20 years, there's going to be a 50-year-old Rock Hard walking the streets, posting reels.
I hope so. But you know what?
True.
By that point, he'll have like a whole Bat Family thing going on, dude. It'll be
Rock
Hard beyond.
He's got that one guy that's wearing the Spider-Man t-shirt right now. He's got a guy. One of his sidekicks is a guy that wears a Spider-Man t-shirt and a mask, and his name is Batman.
Listen, man. These guys are supposed to not be autistic? Get real, dude. You know what I mean? Get fucking.
That's right. That's right. We're all a little neurodivergent.
It is what it is.
In our own ways. The spectrum is a big spectrum. And sometimes the spectrum is pretending to be a superhero.
I mean, look, they're actually out there doing it. I'm over here just being like, man. Like,
yeah. No, you're right. I'm not participating.
Because I'm too chicken to fight crime, to fight justice. Yeah. That'd be sick as hell, bro. Maybe I go down to the main street of my town one night
with a poster, fuck
Dead
Ice
World
poster.
Live, and I dress like fucking Wonder Woman or something like that.
You gotta do like a Channel 5 thing. If there's ever some political activity in your city, if there's like a rally, if there's like a thing in front of City Hall happening, you go, you do mic with a camera, and you ask people questions, and you let them talk.
There's stuff going off all the time that I could just kind of jump in on, but it's like, do I want to do that? Do I want to bother people? Do I want people to bother me? You know, like I'm like
a risk.
I'm actually kind of a quiet dude.
It's a risk, man. I done took me passwords off all of the websites, man. I'm offline.
You know what? How about this?
Jamaican guy that's
politically centrist Jamaican guy.
Oh, interesting. Me no like Democrat nor Republican, man. Right? me vote for Jill Stein, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the community, to the Jamaican community.
What about like corporatist, like center corporatist Jamaican?
Again, Jamaican? Dude, come on, man. You're putting me in a position here.
Oh, no, you're right.
Me feel like profit, man. Me care about shareholders. No, but
dude, do you get to be Jamaican? I watched this thing earlier.
do
It
I
was
get to
about
be Jamaican?
the mayor of Toronto, and
Uh-huh.
like two of his major scandals were
The old one that died?
doing crack. No, no, no.
Yeah, Rob Ford. He died.
Oh, Rob Ford. Well, he wasn't old.
No, he was just because he was smoking crack all the time.
I mean, I don't know, man. You know,
And
they
he was
say
like, yeah. And I remember Rob Ford, the videos of me. He's like, yeah. And I go home and I smoke a little crack. Is that all right? People have beer. People drink. It's the same thing. It's poison.
Listen, dude.
And
I'm like
he
a
goes
crazy
A because he's
person
Canadian.
because
He's
I
like,
was
A.
like,
It's only human, eh? I just smoke a little crack with my wife, eh? Or
listen,
something.
man.
That's what it's all about.
They were showing these like videos of him like just going to people's houses and being like, how can I help you?" And then he would just like kind of help them.
Yeah,
And
and they're like, can I
immediately
get the
I
number
was like, "Let him do
4?
crack." Like whatever it is that's driving him, he's got the energy now. He's got the time, the focus
he
to go in and
seems
fix someone's air
very
conditioner.
he seems very awake.
Honestly, man, like
Yeah, let them smoke crack. Okay, that's an
maybe.
interesting take. That's a good one. That's a hot take, dude.
Oh,
Let the
dude,
politicians smoke
it
crack.
sucks, right?
Well,
Because
they're going to
I
anyway.
definitely want
They're
like a
gonna
flawed
anyway.
rock star like type
Rock hard.
a politician, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah, you want
that's
like a
like fun and
JFK.
tragic and stuff.
You want a JFK. You're like, man, he's fucking on Marilyn
But
Monroe,
at the same
dude.
time, like I don't know, maybe some stability would be kind of nice. Dude, fuck it, man. It's just like what the fuck is the answer, dude? Haven't we tried everything at this point?
Stability is you to
Why are
start
we
landing.
so close to World War III? You know, like what the fuck is going on with this like
Uh,
nuclear nonsense, man? That
well,
sucks. That fucking sucks, dude.
I think. Well, look, I think a country that having nuclear weapons is a threat. It's a threat to sovereignty of other countries, but it's also the only way that other countries have sovereignty. Like that's why we don't fuck with North Korea because they have nukes, so we don't touch them. You know what I mean? And like the world order as it is, it's like really only countries with nukes are the ones that aren't getting touched because they know they have nukes. Like so, and I guess some interests in the Western world don't want Iran to have nuclear bombs because they have certain strategic objectives to like keep everything in a certain place or whatever. And so and I think Israel is one of those countries that wants to not have Iran have nuclear weapons. Um, but uh I don't know, man. I mean, like they've been saying that Iran's weeks away from a nuclear bomb since like the 90s, you know what I mean? So it's hard to parse out when I'm being propagandized and when I'm like actually learning what's happening because there's so many different people with different interests in going in like there's so many people with different interests in driving the narrative in a certain direction and they all have different levels of like media power. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know,
Hallelujah. Dead world. No, I'm just
it
kidding. Wow.
just it just it's just too confusing, man, you know, cuz like here I am like a guy in a place, in a town, in a time, in a world.
Mm-hmm.
And oh man, you know, like I wonder if people when they used to like wander through like forests and like travel to places they'd never been before.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if they felt that everything was just like so like oppressive. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
like certain and uncontrollable. Because it's like, you know, these guys had the just like something in them that allowed them to take like a step forward into like the unknown.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't even know what the fuck to do, where to go
I
from
don't even
here. You know what I
know
mean?
what the fuck
Like
to do. Yeah.
it's just like crazy, man. Like I don't, you
It's
know,
too hard of a problem to think about by yourself on a scale because it's like beyond it's sort of beyond the scope. It's beyond your scope. It's a little out of your grade. Like same with me. Like we're just guys, dude. We're just like fucking guys. We're
yeah,
paying rent. You know what I mean? We're fucking paying rent. We're fucking going outside. We're doing a podcast or something. Like we're
yeah,
fucking. It's kind of we're just guys. You know, like what are we gonna do? I don't know. But it's hard to like be like, well, it's bad to just get in that mindset too, because there is something like there is a power somewhere to change.
right.
But it's like, where is the real question, and no one's really sure. Or if they are sure, they're hiding it on purpose. You know what I mean? So who knows? But
Yeah. Oh man, I'm
yeah.
just so
Well, now it's like
also. I don't know.
it's kind of even worse now than it was with like the Iraq war, because like at least when the Iraq war was happening, like people sort of believed the propaganda in a sense, like it was really like a mainstream opinion or whatever. But
Yeah.
now it's like they're saying like we need to go to war with Iran. There's people saying that, and it's like everyone's like, why, dude? What are we talking about?
Right.
Like, what do you mean? Like, what did they do? Nothing. Like, they've done nothing. That's the whole
Yeah.
point, is that they've done
Well,
nothing. America was the ones that pulled out of the nuclear agreement in 2018. Like, Iran has done nothing. Like, they're just there.
listen,
They
man.
got attacked. I mean,
It's
look,
it's
whatever.
hard to say.
Hard to say. And we have no
Um,
stance on the Dead World podcast. We're apolitical guys. We mostly care about Aquaman, Christopher Walken.
there's just no one who has a position of like they did nothing and they're innocent. You know what I mean? The hospitals are being like bombed in Israel right now, but hospitals are also being bombed in Iran.
Yep.
And honestly, I sometimes think that's because like it's been 2 years of hospitals and everything else being bombed in
It's
Palestine,
been
and like
2 years since you looked at me, right?
and it's just like, when did this become just like the color of things? When did that become acceptable? I'm not really sure, dude.
Well, it's
But
just
it's just like fucked up.
it's like societal blood feuds spanning back hundreds and thousands of years, and sometimes even just hundreds of years or tens of years.
Yeah.
Because like the British Mandate of Palestine and like the early initial settlement of that area, like in the early 1900s, was like its own other set of events, and so it's like there's a lot that like people are being like there's a lot being carried from the past forward, right? And like I think the challenge of the now is that like we have history in our hands at the moment, but only so many people realize that, right? We have been kind of engineered into this passive state, but like we have like to the sake for the sake I guess of empowerment, or to think of empowerment, it's like we do have it does exist. Like we exist in history just like any one of these other people. Like the now that we're in now, it's different in terms of what's around us, but the feeling of the now has been felt by every person that's ever lived. Like everybody's felt right now in their like it's core to the experience of everything, and it's hard to look at it and square away like, okay, well, this part of the now is from before and this part of the now is for later. You know what I mean? And it's hard to square that away at all times, and it's hard to be forward looking and backward looking simultaneously. It's like you can only be one or the other. It's kind of like, almost like why there's the ideological split of like right wing, left wing, conservative
I mean,
versus,
dude,
because
but
conservative is like
isn't
holding
that what that like
tradition.
Buddhist shit you were talking about was like backward is an illusion, forward is an illusion. There's only like the presence. And
Yeah,
so it's like
essentially.
if you're present, I think there is no way in hell a reasonable person can be like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna like kill people and be on the bombing side of fucking these types of
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
conflicts. You know what I mean? It's
Of
just
course. I don't know, but it's like I've never been in
yeah,
government, man. I don't know what kind of
yeah.
fucking conversations these people are having, not
I
to
don't know.
justify a
Because
single
it's like,
bit of it, but
oh,
I mean,
dude,
that is what America is maintaining. That is what
but it's
America
but
is
it's just like, is
that's
that
America's immediate interest in maintaining that exact thing.
But that could
Because as
just be
long as
like
it's
a fucking lie. It's like a threat, like everything else, like the nuclear fallout that never fucking happens, dude. Like the fucking great disease that never comes. Like the
mm,
climate disaster that keeps on being put off. Like it's like
yeah.
these like end of days apocalyptic things to keep me like afraid of whatever the fuck is supposed to happen. And it's like, am I supposed to just be living in this like perpetual suspense?
No.
Or are things actually ever gonna like happen, man?
I try to live with the
And it's not that I'm not
understanding.
trying to have things happen. I'm not trying to have terrible
Right. You don't
things
want it
fucking
to happen,
happen. But
but you
it's
just
like,
feel
are
like you're on
these
the
just
edge
like
of your seat.
vague? Well, it's just like I feel like these are like vague threats that are meant to keep me like from doing things or thinking a
Mm.
certain way that actually might allow me to escape the status quo,
Well,
you know?
every generation that's ever been alive has thought about the end of the world. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's why it's a story that exists so prominently in like many myths, and it's why it's just like everyone's got a doomsday thing. Like everyone feels like the end of the world. Like you remember when we were little and everyone was like December 21st of 2012
Yeah.
or like May 21st,
But
2012. I
there's
mean, more now than ever for sure. And like, and it
it's
hasn't ended,
so
and it likely, and the thing is, man, like it likely won't. Like, I think humans to a point, like they're not going to destroy themselves. I don't know how true that is or if I'm right, but that's just my personal gut feeling about that. Like, I don't think it ever comes to that. And if it did, it's like an insane tragedy, but I don't think it ever does. I don't know. I'm not inclined to think that it ever would. And maybe that's just like wishful thinking on my part, like being an optimist or something.
But that's what we're forced into, right? It's like
you can only hope. Like there's
it's
nothing
like
else.
silly and paranoid.
You can only hope.
Right?
I can only hope we don't destroy ourselves, right? Like,
yeah, I don't know, man. It's like we're we're just being like held in this like state of suspense because that's the easiest way to manipulate us into like feeling the things that we need to feel.
Yeah.
To like keep on participating in these counterintuitive behaviors that just keep on like hurting ourselves and others, Like how do you become the person who's like sitting behind a screen, uh hitting people with drone strikes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like what happened?
I suppose on some level it's like, oh, I wanted to serve my country. I don't know. If you're talking like the most noble reason or the most noble professed reason to but even then, like, I don't really believe in nationalism, so to me that kind of means nothing. Like, protect my country, like what are we talking about? Like, yeah, you can talk about like a culture and cultural things, but like I think cultures are beyond nations. So it's like I can enjoy American culture and not really think much of like the country itself, I guess. It's like I pledge allegiance because it's like, well, I'm here, so like I can't, please don't hurt me, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
But it's like, I don't know, in general, when I think about countries, I'm like, yeah, we could have those and like use them as like, oh, like he's from France, like, oh, haha, like it's fun. But like when it becomes when they start to exert their violent enterprises like on each other, it becomes a lot harder for me to justify those things existing.
Yeah.
But who knows, man? It's like it's the world as it is, and we're dead world is what we are.
We are dead world, and it's too big of a picture, man.
Too big of a picture, guys.
At the very least, maybe we can
focus on
be
us.
in the moment.
That's right. Consume our stuff.
Yeah, why not? I don't know. We're not gonna lie to you if we can help it.
We're nice guys, and we are sorry to Daniel Craig from last time. Jonah didn't mean that. He would never say that. You're such a talent.
I don't know, man. Why you always glazing everybody who you think's gonna hold open a door for you, bro?
It would be awesome if Daniel Craig came on the podcast. Are you kidding me? What would you even say to him?
What world are you living in?
What would you even say?
Where this guy's gonna fucking talk to us ever?
How dare you?
And it's not like
you gotta dream big, dude.
Maybe.
You gotta dream to imagine,
dude,
bro.
I don't know what the fuck to say to anybody. The only reason we're able to kind of have a conversation
what was like filming
is because
James...
I've known you for like 15 years.
What was filming James Bond like? That's what I would say.
That's a stupid question. That's a stupid, awful question. That you probably...
You probably hate me so much.
Yeah, dude.
No, look, we're not gonna get him, guys. We're not gonna get. Don't get your hopes up. We're not getting Daniel Craig on.
Listen, man,
right?
it's all
maybe
I
we'll
have something to say right here on the show that I produce and whatever the fuck.
Maybe we'll have semen retention Daniel Craig on. Mm-hmm.
I would like to maybe do more interviews. I think that would be fun.
Interviews could be good.
I just don't know.
We've reached the planning part of the podcast. Yeah, maybe we do more interviews. I'm down. If you want, oh yeah, I think I said this on the last episode, so I'll say it again. If you're an artist and you've listened to, I think we're at an hour and a half on this episode here. Yeah. If you've listened this far, hit me up if you want to be on the podcast. We'll talk to you. It could be a short thing, 15-minute thing, or you could, if you want to riff and talk about some shit, maybe we'll try it out. I don't know, but who knows?
Yeah, and guys, we're still trying to do this music thing on the back end of the show. It's just not everybody's releasing shit every week, so we gotta put it in where we can. So if you're interested in just
send us your music.
Trying to get on the MTV of YouTube.
That's right.
Dead World.
That's what we are.
Just hit us up, guys.
We're a network.
We're
like Disney.
Dude, you're like Pauly Shore if he was like tall and mean.
Okay, how about Pauly Shore, but Pauly Shore, but he really likes vinyl. He's like, yeah, man, I got this player. I can't do it. I don't know.
That's just him, I think.
I think that might just be what he is, yeah.
Bro,
that's just how he is.
I can't
That's
really
just how he is, bro.
Yeah.
Well,
I fucking suck at characters. I suck at accents. I suck at being me.
Yeah.
And so do you.
That's right.
Are we ever gonna understand each other, or
Probably
are we
not.
ever gonna understand ourselves?
No, and go fuck yourself.
Come on,
Dead
man.
world. I'm just kidding. Don't go fuck yourself. All right.
Yeah, we gotta go, guys. Bye. Dead world.
Could we start appreciating men now? Because we're not going to the gym just to look good. We're going there to get a lot of big muscles to protect the girls. And we're not playing shooter games just for fun. We're practicing because we might actually have to shoot someone one day to protect the girls.
Yeah. I'm silent when the devil stands. No idle hands for me, my time is precious. Watch the sand deplete. I'm wasting seconds, minutes, hours, days, years repeat. My view is soured, but my instincts can't accept defeat. And lately all this love ain't coming back to me. Pressure's on, and that's where diamonds have to be. It's sad.